I don't want to talk about what happened last season, what happened in the playoffs. I've made myself really sad because I've noticed that the number of points we got last year would have been enough to win the title the year before. Nothing's going to make me feel better about it, especially not the pathetically low transfer budget we've been given. But we will make do with what we've got. We have a transfer window ahead of us, and we are going to put together a team that can win the championship and reach the promised land. I hope. Yeah, I had a little look. This made me feel even worse. I don't know why I did this. So we finished on 91 points. Last year, we'd have won the league with 91 points. Burnley, champions, with 89. Middlesbrough, promoted with 81. Watford won the playoffs with 73 points last year. This season, 73 points wouldn't have even got them into the playoffs. And they ended up getting into the Premier League as a reward. It's very sad. I don't know who's been relegated from the Premier League this year. Burnley, Leicester, Middlesbrough. So Watford, despite being a provably worse team than us, get another season in the Premier League. It's hideous. Utterly hideous. And to make... Oh, why is it showing me that? I'm over it. It's fine. Oh. And then to make matters even worse, the board have given me basically no money to spend. I've got a £500,000 budget, and the wage budget I've been given isn't as much as we're currently spending on players. So we're going to have to sell to buy this summer. I'm looking at the players who are attracting interest. Dennis Sirkin, we definitely don't want to sell. He's our record signing. We bought him last summer for 1.4 million. If we can get 10 million for him, we'll use him to rebuild the team. John Doe Fuchs, potentially could get a little bit more for him, maybe. Jack Marriott is attracting interest, but doesn't really have any value, but it'd be nice to get him off the wage bill. Harrison Burrows is a tricky one because he's a promising young player who probably sells for decent value, but he's not really played much for the last 2 years. So I think we've probably beaten any value he had out of him. There's not an obvious saleable asset. I mean, the obvious one, I guess, is Ricky J. Jones, but we can't afford to let him go because he is the future of the football club. And what's even more alarming is the majority of our best players are players who are currently here on loan. Rule Walters, here on loan. Ronnie Edwards, here on loan. Cameron Archer, top scorer, here on loan. And there's no guarantees we get any of them back. So before we even get up and running, we could lose 4 or 5 of our best players and have no budget to replace them with. It's going to be a tough summer, boys and girls. A very, very tough summer. Right, we've got 4 players come in who we pre-arranged to sign. These were the ones that showed us having 5-star potential. Sack the Scouts. Oh, dear. 4 stars there. 3 stars. Well, that's the last summer we bring in these young players. Boo and hiss. They're all rubbish. Yuckers. Absolutely yuckers. At least we've now got a goalkeeper called the Lemon. So I suppose that's the positive. And ultimately, they are better than our own youth prospects. So it's a bunch of 17 and 18-year-olds who can play for our under-19s for a couple of years and then maybe get sold on. So they're not disastrous signings. They're just not signings we're likely to actually ever play in the first team. Here we have a centre-back who's available for nothing, who is quite good. Really quite good. It's just we probably won't get him. He is up there with Watts and Walters. So better than most of what we've got. I mean, we'll try. I bet we don't get him because everyone else is going to want him. He was insisting that we improve the training facilities, which, spoilers, we ain't going to do. I'm happy to leave a promotion pay rise on, but I am going to take that off. I don't mind players getting a pay rise if we get promoted. We're just going to have to hope there's some good free transfers when we get to the 1st of July. We're going to have to do it that way. Free transfers and loans is all we've got. That's all we're going to be able to do. And to be fair, it worked quite well last summer. We put together an excellent squad with free transfers and loans. Juan Pereira. I mean, that's our entire budget. Just not interested. Doesn't matter how good he is. I'm not spending my entire budget on somebody this early in the summer. We are getting Jabal Kwanzaa, though. That's a nice signing, I think. Oh, God, a transfer embargo. Oh, God. Let's not worry about Twitch ads. Oh, it's the 29th of June. What am I supposed to do here? We got promoted with a record total for League One. We came up, we got no money, but we put together a team with free transfers and loans, and we got to the playoff final where we lost by one solitary goal. We missed out on the Premier League, and we were rewarded with even less money than we were given the year before. But did we complain? No, we did not complain, because we had a plan. We were going to wait for the 1st of July when the free transfers were available, and we were going to go and get some free transfers, and we were going to rebuild this team, and we were going to come back stronger. And now here we are, 2 days before, and we've got a transfer embargo because some clown who can't even smell Smith properly has decided he'd like to buy a football club. It's a tycoon. I'll be delighted. And I apologise to Sir Professor Dr. Mr. Smith. But it's not. It's going to be the guy who runs the local butchers. He's taking out a big loan. I'm looking for the word tycoon on here anywhere. He can't spell Connor or Smith. English business director. Should the deal go through, it's rumoured Connor Smith will be looking to float the club on the stock exchange, thereby generating potentially lucrative funds for the club. I want to kiss Connor Smith on the mouth. This is a disaster, though, because even if this happens and it takes a month to go through, let's say the season has started and we've signed nobody, all our loans have gone. They've then moved on to other clubs, so we can't get them back again, and we're left with a squad of like 14 players, most of which weren't good enough to be in our team last year. We needed Chris Kamara to come in, tycoon Chris Kamara. I kind of shouldn't have released Jack Marriott, really, knowing that we couldn't sign anybody, because we probably could have done with keeping him around. Right, so the full extent of our squad now is this. Cameron's already gone out on loan. Remember, a lot of these are kids we brought up. We have a first team squad of 25 players, but I would argue everybody from Brad Young down aren't players we'd actually use. So we actually have 15 usable players, 15 potential starters. We're going to bring Patrick Van Aanholt in on trial if we're allowed to. Because why not? Right, so hold on, we can approach to sign, but we can't offer trials. How is that a thing? How is that a thing? How are we not allowed to bring them in on trial, but we can sign them? So you reckon if I click on them, I won't actually be able to sign them? Harry Anderson, former Posh player. Came through our youth system. So we can't offer free transfers. We can't bring them in on trial. We can't offer free transfers. We can't bring in loans. Connor! For goodness sake, Connor! So what you're telling me is we just had a 5-day transfer embargo over the 5 most important days in the transfer window for no reason. Well, now we start again with a 3-day disadvantage and all the good players already gone. Absolutely hideous. This is why I always end up resigning from Posh during the beta. I can't cope with them. It's a joke of a football club. What is happening? Right, everybody in. Alex Smithies would be a fantastic signing. Probably far too expensive for us. This is the problem, because we had a good season last year. These are all like mid-table championship players. We absolutely can't afford mid-table championship players. These are all going to want 20, 25 grand a week. There is not a hope that we're getting any of these. Rule Walters is back. That's good business. That was one of our key players from last year, back involved. Wow. Yeah. Micah Beereth. We're hooking back up with all my former heroes. Come on, Micah. Would they loan me Endrick? Probably not. Endrick. Not even old enough to take on loan yet. I mean, they would. Can't afford him. Can you imagine? Bear with me, everybody. We're just doing a little bit of shuffling. We used to talk about girls who play guitar. We used to talk about girls who play guitar. Come on, shuffle, shuffle. Ah, can't quite get there. Please. Can we add in a future fee? No. I can only assume that's not actually going to happen. I got him in the championship with Bolton on loan. Was he any good? Because we've not scouted him at all. Right, Micah Beereth is in. We're not going to take this offer. If we can get them to double it. Do something like that. I don't think that's enough money. He has now turned 18. Why not? What's the worst that can happen, eh? Are you ready, championship? Johnson Clark Harris has injured himself just so he doesn't have to compete with him. Now, we've got no option on him, although he is out of contract at the end of the season. So he's on loan with us pretty much until the end of his contract. His minimum fee release clause is £96 million, so I guess we could cash that in. It's going to be great when he looks back on his career and he had that weird year at the start of his career playing for Peterborough in the championship and no one can explain why. Edouard Michou. Right, let's try this guy. Okay. I don't mind giving him £120 a week. That's a strange one. Right, a few of you are recommending McAtee. And we get him for nothing. Next to nothing. Okay, that works. And then what else do we need? Squad planner. So Henry Lawrence is a handy backup on both sides, which is good. We're pretty much set at centre-back, I think. Oh, I hate the squad planner so much. Oh, God. It's so counterintuitive. Fuchs, Taylor, White, and then if we get those other two midfielders in... I mean, we're close to having a good side, I think. Right, we're getting this guy, Michu. We're putting together a team. Just all the loans. That's all we need. Forget having it. I mean, Forest got promoted with just loans last season. Apparently, that's all we need, just to sign everybody on loan. And then if we get to the Premier League, worry about it when we get there. McAtee's coming in as well. That's two new midfielders in. Should we overrule and put Endrick in this team ahead of Kwame Poku, who, to be fair, has done nothing wrong in his Peterborough career? Right, can Beereth play as an advanced forward? Yes, he can. So we are probably going to keep him in that role. I know when we had him at home in the previous version of him, he wasn't really able to. We had to play him as a target man. Fuchs, Taylor, White, I think can play as that playmaker just fine. Yes. New boy Kwanzaa is in. 6'6". We need to adjust our corners to aim at him. Top corner, please. I mean, it wasn't top corner, but it seems to be effective. I thought Kwanzaa was offside there. He has good English. He has good English, does he? Okay, I just assumed he wouldn't be able to speak English. He's obviously planning for his future in the Premier League. But in that case, I'm more likely to play him in the next game. So that it's just the fullback on the appropriate side taking them. Micah Beereth has arrived at London Road, everybody. I think we need to update that current saves list, don't I? That's all very out of date. Yikes. Mods, get on that. Mods, you've got a job to do. To do the Civilization equivalent of when Donnarumma scored twice against him in the Streamer Showdown. 30 minutes, so 3 turns in. I mean, it's Zealand I'm playing against. If we get through 3 turns in 30 minutes, I'll be flabbergasted. Come on! As you can see, our current front three are having quite the game. Well, we're going to see Hendrick in the first half because Kwame Poku has taken one for the team and has faked an injury so we can bring Hendrick on now. There he is. Come on, Hendrick. You're the worst player on the pitch at the moment. Now I know you speak English, I can abuse you. We're paying you so much money to be here. Do a football. He's a flop. He's a failure. I've signed a dud. I've signed the wrong Endrick. Imagine. Tell me there's only one Endrick. The amount of Posh fans who've bought a 19 Endrick shirt. Make everyone who's currently watching ads think they've missed something incredible. React as if Hendrick has just scored the best goal ever in Football Manager. You're all heroes. You're doing wonderful work at the moment, everybody, and I appreciate it. Oh, my word. Right, we've got 3.5 minutes for Hendrick. Here is Hendrick, actually. He might legitimately do it. Hendrick! Oh! Oh! That would have been a lovely moment. Hendrick against Hartlepool. Fizzy water makes me trump like a mofo. I was having that problem last week, but I think I'm used to it now. There's Hendrick's first goal, and I was talking about trumping when it happened. Deal with that, editor Chris. Make that work on YouTube. Hendrick. There you go. Ring the bell. It's a tap-in. Of course it is. Imagine if we've adjusted the system and written Beereth out of the script by really focusing on these two wide players. We need to teach her what's happening. I don't think she'll care. Oh, Hendrick's in again. Go on, give it to Hendrick. Oh no, we've still got Ricky J. Jones. Let's not forget he exists. And there's McAtee. Oh, then There never was a glitch where you couldn't. Oh, that's a lovely pass. And there we have an assist for Endrick as well. It was never a problem with offering pre-contracts to players who were on loan. The issue was you couldn't offer pre-contracts to players who were at other English clubs. Oh, blimey. Jamal Hector Ingram. Right up there with Micah Beerif as a channel hero. Hector Ingram is causing problems for our defenders. Who is our number 6? Frankie Kent. You are done. That was terrible. Right, now we play Stoke. Everyone was asking if Hendrick could do it against Stoke. Now we're going to find out. I mean, yes, fair enough. Come on, Ricky. Oh, come on, Ricky. My word, Ricky J. Jones. What a goal. Who needs Endrick? He just got his head down, ran, and then hit it really hard. Look at him go. Not to be upstaged. That really hurt. Come on, Ricky, do it again. Oh, that's a lovely pass as well. McAtee. Okay, I was going to criticise him, but that's great. That's really very great. Spurs are now top of their group. Just because they equalised. Lovely and cold. Come on, Mr. Gold Medalist. Oh, McAtee's there again. I mean, we signed him to play in midfield. But he seems like he's quite the striker. That's just people trying to jump on a bandwagon when they say it's not any good. Stolisic needs to do better there. Stolisic is a better goalkeeper than that. My bank account would say make it last 20 years because... Hello, Hendrick. Just interrupt my sentences, why don't you? That was quite good. Just takes the ball off him and then hits it really hard. I'm going to have him next year. Doesn't matter if you run him into the ground. Yeah, but I don't want to injure him. You never know. Stranger things have happened. We might get him. Imagine if we did. I'd have to... I mean, my plans were 1 or 2 more seasons. If we sign him permanently for Peterborough, we're playing 15 years of this save. I don't care. Because he's been caught offside 3 times now. In the 3 matches he's been playing up front. 3 goals disallowed. Although he's run from very deep there. No fear of him being offside there. Who's this lurking? Don't need him. Harvey White. Bang. Bang. What a goal. Right. Final part of the Endrick show for this evening. As a reminder, tomorrow's stream, I'm streaming at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm playing Civilization 6 against Zealand. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I'm beating Zealand at Civilization 6 tomorrow afternoon from 3 o'clock. So there might not be an FM stream tomorrow. It really depends how long we go in our Civ game. If I'm not still streaming with Zealand in the evening, I'll stick FM on in the evening because got to keep Chris busy with the Football Manager edits. But yeah, me and Zealand have been promising this game of Civ for a little while now. So we're finally both free at the same time tomorrow afternoon. So we will get cracking with that. So make sure you come and join in with the fun there because it is going to be fun. It's going to be great. But then regardless of any of that, we'll be back playing FM in this save the following night and the rest of the week and all that. You've obviously got the YouTube videos coming out every day as well. He's worse at tinkering in Civ than FM. Then I'll be done by 4:30 and we'll play FM tomorrow night. If we're not advancing at a reasonable clip, I'll be very sad. Has he taken the hour? He said 11 o'clock his time, 3 o'clock my time. Do they match up? Is 11 o'clock New York time the same as 3 o'clock UK time? The most well-known one is that there was just a news report back when the team was in its very early days, it described it as a posh team of posh players after a big win. Micah BRF, come on. Lovely, lovely, lovely. There we have it. A perfect start to the season and a pretty damn close to perfect transfer window, if you ask me, which absolutely you should be asking me. We're going to the Premier League. Nobody can stop us. And we will continue that probably Thursday, because I imagine we'll be streaming for ages tomorrow with Sir Clicks a lot.